afternoon. If this is the energy that we are going to give for our own selves, how are we going to move forward? Guys, can we get some energy? Hello? Much better. So, before I start, okay, apologies for my voice. I was making the presentation yesterday and I'm like thinking what are the various things that women can or cannot do. And I was like, there's pretty much everything that a woman can do. And I wake up in the morning with this voice. You can even sound like one if you want to. Yeah, so jokes apart. So what I'm going to talk about here is how skills and tech empower women leaders, and why did I choose this topic? I chose this topic because I've been with the bank for 20 years, my entire career. But have I done only one thing? No, I have not. So I thought, and I think it's really helped me grow as a person, grow as a leader. And I thought if I can share some experiences with other women, colleagues of mine, I think I can make a little difference. And every little difference that we create in each other's lives, we can make it better for every one of them, right? So that is why I chose this topic. But what I really want from each one of you, even the one sitting in the back, is be with me. I will throw a few questions. I will ask. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to make mistakes. Just get engaged and involved. Are we all good? Yeah? Okay. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The mystery has been decoded. My first thing was I wanted to ask you a question as in when do you think the women's rights journeys really started? Technology gives way when you need it to most, right? So anyway. So I was going to ask you that do you think the women's empowerment and rights has been a walk in the park? Let's go back to, kind of go into the past. And so just ignore the fact that it's got a little out of the way. But what I want to really make a point is 1850s is when the movement started. Can you imagine? We had no voting rights. 1850s, some countries started the suffrage movement to start getting basic voting rights for women. And the journey has gone on and on. Yeah, thank you. Doesn't really matter now. Okay. 1900s, women's rights started. Then we had 1909, US had the first National Women's Day. Then in 1975, finally, United Nations acknowledged 8th March as the International Women's Day. 1980s, we had the equality movement. Where are we right now? 2025. Are we any better? Yes, no? Yes. Yes, we are much better. We have grown from where to where. Is it slow? Yes, it's slow. But anything which requires a change that mammoth size will take time. And now is the time when this will not be as slow, but it will be exponential. Why? Because we have all of us fighting for the same cause. Back then, there were much fewer people. There was much less social media to create awareness. There was much less of everything. But now, we have much more of everything. We have many more of us, right? So yes, we are in much better position today. But we, as a country, still rank 129 out of 146 in Global Gender Gap Index, according to the World Economic Forum. That's still not good, right? Women contribute only about 18% of India's GDP, while we contribute to 50%, half the population. Is that a good thing? No, it's not. Are we getting better? Yes, we are. Now, I'm assuming most of us are already a part of this 18%. But is that the real challenge? No. The real challenge comes next. Getting to the top. While at the entry level, we have 28%, it slowly keeps dropping it to only 8% being in C-suite. So what is it that is causing this gap? Of course, we are all aware of certain things that happen. It is a mix of personal, cultural, structural stereotypes. If a woman talks with something with a lot of emphasis, she's being aggressive. A man says the same thing, he's just assertive, right? So we've all been through that. And before I go anywhere else, I just want to kind of take you to a small video which I'm sure most of you would have seen during this International Women's Day, which is gone. Thank you.
What would you call a man coming home post midnight? Late. What would you call a woman coming home post midnight? Lose. Describe a man losing his cool. Hot-tempered. A woman losing her cool? Lack of class. A man being aggressive? Power. A woman being aggressive? Terror. The man wearing the pants? Boss. The woman wearing the pants? Bossy. A man putting work before home? Focused. A woman putting work before home? Selfish. A man having the last word? Authority. A woman having the last word? Pushy. If boys will be boys and men can be men, then why can't our women be themselves without being judged by men?
How many of you guys saw this? Have you seen this before? Yes? It's nothing new, is it? And for all you know, Virat Kohli is only promoting his brand. But the message is what that matters. But tell me something. Coming from a male celebrity, does it make it sound more real? Does it make it sound more like, okay, we're being heard? Somewhere, a woman can keep saying the same things to each other, but when it comes from someone who is a man, who is in a position of power, it makes it sound more real and makes it more comforting. Why? Why do we need that? Right? Why do we seek the smallest acknowledgements? Why do we say that we are okay with one day out of 365 days being called as an International Women's Day? Why are we okay with that? Why is it that if somebody has an opinion on us, we want to make the change in ourselves? Why is our opinion not enough? Especially or despite the fact that we are among the most versatile beings. We manage the house, we are mothers, daughters, sisters, wives, handle most of it along with work, but when it comes to professional lives, we kind of just take a step back. We wait for an acknowledgement from someone else. Why do you think that happens? Any reasons? Sorry? Yeah?
I could be wrong. Ma'am, so sorry. Just 1 second. We'll get the mic to you. So sorry.
Hi, I'm Priyanka, and I think so it's more of like which has been built on generation to generation that way, that you need a male member's acknowledgement or appreciation. Whether you are bringing up at home, you would look upon your father to pat your back if you go, and then your brother. So it's like it's getting in from within the house itself as you grow. So that gets into the mind.
Yes, that's one of the reasons. Yes, please.
By the way, I'm Dr. Narayani, Director of NMIMS University, Bengaluru campus. I think it's not only men, women need this kind of thing. All human beings need validation, and it is very high on female side.
Yes.
Validate.
Yes. We need a validation.
Validation.
Yes. Ma'am, you wanted to say something? Exactly the same. Exactly the same thing. Fantastic. Okay. Yes.
Yes, because women, our social construct is the decision-making power has never been on us. So when we reach a place where we are the decision makers, we always look up to someone who would say, oh yeah, it's correct, and then we'll go ahead. So that's where we seek acknowledgement for our smallest of decision making, even at workplace.
Absolutely. So all of these reasons come from what? You're walking at a pace. And with all the stereotypes, all the cultural biases that have been come, it's like wind against you, right? With more force you try and walk, the wind gets stronger. In order to attain that kind of confidence, over a period of time, the one thing that you start losing and hinders your growth is confidence. It takes a beating. So whatever we said right now, all of this, directly or indirectly, comes back to our confidence levels, our own self-confidence in what we are capable of. Sadly, it's not merit, it's not knowledge, it's not skills, it's not EQ, it's not integrity, it's nothing which is actually required. We are maybe more knowledgeable at times. I don't know if you've been through this situation, but there have been, at least earlier, there used to be a lot of meetings where I would be 85-90% sure of something, but I wouldn't answer because of that 10% not sure. And a colleague of mine would probably just talk with confidence and he is nowhere close to the true correct answer. But it's the confidence, right? And our 85-90% surety is not good enough for us because we are perfectionists and we've been imbibed that maybe we'll be wrong, maybe we can't take the right decisions. It's so ingrained in our minds. And that is where it becomes a problem for us. So we want to be honest, we want acceptability, we want a validation, because somewhere over the years, our confidence has taken a slight beating, right? And confidence is not about always being right. It's about not fearing to be wrong, and that's absolutely okay to be wrong. Because when we are wrong, we learn from it and we become right. And we get that confidence improve even further. Yeah? So, never apologize for being who you are. And that is one thing which I have learned. If you allow something to happen, it will happen. If you allow someone to make you submissive, it will continue to happen. If you allow someone to be rude to you and get away with it, you will keep getting treated like that. So your ambitions are not less, they are yours. Be proud of it. Your voice is meant to be heard. All of these things, your strength is your power. Do not let anyone take it away from you. But while we've been talking about all of this, how do you ensure that you gain certain things or you learn certain things to take this to the next level so that whenever you talk, that 80-90% is with so much accuracy, that so much confidence that you don't even have to think twice before speaking up. And that is where you can break the glass ceiling, you can break the stereotypes by embracing cross-functional skills. And as the cartoon says, the glass ceiling is just a tile and we can break it, right? So before I go into how cross-functional skills and technology can help in our professional lives, I'd like to take a personal life example, two of them. One has impacted men, women alike in the last few years, something which drastically changed all our lives, worldwide. Universal answer, we all know, COVID. Why do you think it changed our lives? How were we before COVID? How are we after COVID? Yes? Here, Anjali.
I think we were much in a comfort zone of actually going to office and mingling with people and touching them, interacting them, person by person connection was there, right? But when COVID happened, we actually got locked into rooms and we all had to just do everything through digital platform and that's it.
Yes.
And COVID has brought a lot of interesting things as well, apart from all bad things that it has done, is that I think at home we started understanding each other much more better. And people started sharing responsibilities, and I have a lot of people talking about it where men have started learning how to cook, and they were the champions of the kitchen at that point in time. So change of roles started happening, right?
Yes.
I think both the genders started understanding the pains of each other,
yes,
right? And I think it has happened for the better. Plus, I also wanted to add to your point, first of all, we've been loving your session so far. Why we have a problem right now where we have to seek validation, because most of us are actually venturing into the world that we haven't ventured, right?
Correct.
Because we are not the gender that has been playing this game for long, right? We are getting into this game and there are very few people who have championed it. So we don't have network. So the only person that we have to go out and ask for validation is another man, right, in the game. And then it is up to the ad person that how open he is in guiding and coaching us, right?
Yes.
So what we should do as we proceed in this journey, we all need to create our own network and start sharing what little we all know, right?
Right.
And then move up from there.
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Lakshya.
Hi,
I think
Lakshya.
two things that really changed, one for good, especially for women, was one is we are more adaptable. So
Yes.
we were able to fit into like whatever life threw at us and proceed. And also we're probably naturally more We can juggle things. Multitasking is like more innate, so that felt more easy for us to do. I think these are the two
Absolutely.
main.
Yes.
While
We'll come back to you.
while COVID did a lot of bad things that has happened, I always say thanks to COVID because it made men start thinking what women go through in a regular day life because they
Yes.
had to share, no choice, sorry. That's one thing at personal level, and they started learning, contributing, and that continued post-COVID. It just didn't stuck to the face.
Yeah.
And at work as well, there was a change in the way the senior management, the men think, Earlier it was like, I don't care, I need this job to be done. But later they started going to pick up their kids, eventually because they don't have choice too. So that's a very drastic and a
Yeah.
very good change that has happened for the woman.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, hi. So I'm a researcher in the area of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And there was a very bad thing that happened that there's a saying, just before the dusk, it is the darkest.
Yeah.
So COVID saw a very dark system, which was women. People take pride in saying women are very adaptable and very flexible. I do not. Women were working, women were cooking, women were the house helps, they were the nannies. And that's the time when this dark reality came out in public. And that's where a lot of people started reflecting on what women are going through. Even, that COVID period lasted for 2 good, thick years.
Yeah.
And that's where some positive light at the end of the tunnel came in, and there was a lot of discussion on how much of an unpaid household labor the women is weighed down under. So that was a dark thing that also gave light to the plight of women. Yeah.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes. Yes. Can we have the mic here, please?
Sure, there you go.
Thank you. I think during COVID, what we realized is more of basics like what do we need? A good food, a good health, and a good happy environment. And probably instead of looking for that outside, we started building that inside at home. So probably we started, becoming a more improvised version of ourselves in these basic aspects of life. And the focus for mental health drastically improved during COVID times.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
yeah.
So yes, most of you have got the answers. So, sorry, you had to say something.
One last thing I'd like to kind of point here. Sorry. Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, we spoke about a lot in terms of how it helped on the personal levels, but I would like to focus that we also had a lot of tech innovations during COVID, and which made our lives much, much easier.
I was just coming to that. Thank you for that. So yeah, so a lot of us spoke about all the examples that happened, and most of us did learn a lot from this, starting from how can we be multi-talented, multi-skilled, do multitasking, technology. All of us were forced to get our children to study from computers. Who would have thought there'll be online classes, right? That happened. Then obviously our offices happened online. People who did not understand technology also embraced technology. We didn't really have a choice. But what has happened after that? We realized the forceful fitting, of course, it was a very bad phase in all our lives. But today, because of our experiences, some of us have gotten very good with financial planning, crisis management, multitasking, technology. That is where in personal life, all this cross-functional skills and technology helped us, right? Another example which I would want is motherhood. Now this is more for women. Most of us are mothers. If they are not mothers, they are daughters. I am not a mother, I am a daughter, but a very difficult one. A rebel since childhood, doing everything that I'm supposed to as a society tells you not to do. So I can imagine what a life my mom would have had trying to make me grow up. And I'm sure all of you would have your own challenges for your kids and with your mothers, right? Planned or unplanned, I think motherhood is the most challenging job that a woman can have. And no kidding, because you are taking care of another life or lives and helping them build an entire career, entire life for themselves. There can be no beautiful and most challenging job at the same time. But is there any one skill that you can tell me makes motherhood easy? One skill. If you get one, yes. But yes, that is one of the things. Yes, what else? Sorry? Agility, yes. Resilience, yes. So there is no one skill, right?
Yeah, skill of finding a good partner who will help you in the journey of motherhood.
I missed that one. I am really sorry about that. I totally missed that one. Yes. So yeah, there is no one skill. And that is what makes us believe that the more skills you have, the easier it is for you to maneuver any kind of challenges. If this can happen in your personal life, how is our professional life any different? Now, why am I talking about this? So, as I told you, I've been in this organization for 20 years. I joined here as a management trainee, and every 3-4 years, I get bored. I have this major thing that I can't do the same thing repeatedly, right? I think that has come from the fact that my dad was in the army, and being a Fauji bacha, I've changed 11 schools in my life, and I've been like all over the country. So, it's in me that I get bored very fast. I need to do different things. And every 3-4 years, I ask for role changes. And I have done drastic role changes, right? From sales to marketing to consumer awareness, consumer behavior, analytics, product development, which is techno-functional, to now fraud prevention, right? Very, very drastic roles. And I think it is really important to do these cross-functional roles because it opens a different horizon. And this is something which is not just applicable to women, but also men, because that is what opens your horizon to the way you think. Now, the very important thing is when you have done multiple things, you have a very broad perspective. And when you have a broad perspective and you're making a decision, you're not just looking at one thing, you're looking at a 360-degree view of everything. And it helps you make better decisions. If there is a problem, you will be able to solve that problem in a much better, much strategic, much analytical way rather than just doing it now. You will look at it from a much different angle. You will get very good at negotiation, not just for your own self, but for your company. You can crack deals because the perspectives that you will put on the table will be very, very different. And when you're doing multiple things, the kind of visibility and the opportunities that you get for yourselves are amazing. And I'm telling you that from my personal experience. It's not difficult to switch jobs, but when you switch jobs, you generally are not given a very different thing, right? Generally, they want people with the same kind of experience. And so my strategy was very simple. Let me get a complete holistic picture of doing different things and growing myself at a personal and professional level, right? And crisis management. Crisis is inherent. It will happen, big or small. How you maneuver, how you handle the crisis under pressure, how do you perform under pressure, how do you take your teams along with you and solve the crisis is what cross-functional skills teach you. The next comes is your technology. How do you leverage technology? We are very hard-working people, right? We work really hard. We want to give our best everywhere. Technology helps change the hard work to smart work. How do you do the same thing with the same efficiency in a much shorter span of time so that you can focus on doing something more intelligent, so that you can focus on doing something more strategic? How do you merge artificial intelligence and automation together and build something which is innovative and people haven't thought of it? How do you stay above everybody else? How do you stay ahead of everyone else's game? And that is what technology brings onto the table. And then when you merge technology and cross-functional skills, that's a killer combination. Because not only do you have diverse information, diverse knowledge, but you're also getting technology into it. Because what we have to remember is, whatever has brought us here is not going to take us to the next level. So anything new that comes in, we have to keep taking it in, learning, growing, right? And when you mix these two, along with whatever we discussed about earlier on the confidence and not letting yourself be bogged down with what people have to say, you not only overcome gender biases, you prove a point to the world, you are also in a position to break stereotypes and the underrepresentation of women in STEM roles, which is today a fact. People think that we are not fit for finance, we are not fit for technology, we are not fit for manufacturing, we are not fit for analytics. I'm sorry, doesn't hold good. right? And here I would also want to talk about Arundhati Bhattacharya. Been with SBI for the longest time, changed multiple roles, was also involved in digital platform developments in SBI, the first woman chairperson of SBI, and now she's the CEO of Salesforce. So that is how women can grow and get to where they want to it. So all of this combined together and walking against the wind will make us, the wind walk with us, right? And that is what we want. We want to get that confidence back so that nothing can come in our way, right? So a few takeaways that I have for you: get out of your comfort zone. Is it going to be easy to do something new? Not at all. It is going to be extremely difficult. And the higher up you go, the more difficult it is. Because the more senior you are and you change your role, you are getting into a position where 95% of your team members and colleagues have been doing that role for their entire lives. So you are an outsider and you will be judged. You will be told that, no, this is not how it's done. We know how it's done. And if you're senior, you will have to get the respect not just by your designation, but by the work and your knowledge that bring on the table. For that, you'll have to burn your midnight oil. So it's not going to be easy, it's very difficult, but is it worth it? Absolutely. Completely worth it, right? Voice your opinions, ask for what you want. You might think that you are not fit for the role that you aspire for, maybe next year. You will never be ready, like motherhood. You are never ready for the next role. Just take it. As they say, when you jump into the pool, you learn to swim. You will learn to handle it. You will learn to make it happen, right? And as I said, change is the only constant. So change, learn, unlearn, relearn. That's the name of the game. And lastly, be the guide to all your women colleagues, your team members, and build that sisterhood. Be the guide that you never had. Try finding mentors. Try finding mentors, not just in women, even men today. Some of them are really, really supportive. I've had some very supportive male bosses, which is why every time I've asked for a role change without question, I've been given that. So get that. It's very, very important. So be ready to fight for the rest of your life if you chose to live life on your terms and on your way. The fight is against the world, against your own expectations, your own doubts, and your own voice that will sometimes tell you that you can't do it. But you have to continue with the fight. Freedom is not something that will be given to you on a platter. We all know, right? We fought for our freedom. We have to continue the fight. We have to fight. Strength isn't given. Strength is built. So go build. So to all of you sitting here, keep fighting, keep learning, keep leading, and keep rising. Thank you.